A few weeks back, I had the honour of speaking to Perfectly Prideful. Perfectly Prideful is a youth group, but with intergenerational events focusing on LGBT people based in Lisburn. And they are run by the amazing Kayleigh, who's pictured here. And I was sharing a stage with some incredible speakers like Karen Kavanagh and our gorgeous, without any introduction needed, Trudy Scrumptious, the radio presenter and DJ Dylan Gibson, and of course, Belfast Pride and Cara Friend's own Gemma Kelly, who was absolutely wonderful. Unfortunately, the audio from my talk didn't record, so I re-recorded it, and here it is.
So I was asked here as an LGBT plus community advocate and a streamer who spends an unhealthy amount of time playing video games. I've thought about what I was going to say today, and my first draft was just to try and empower you and big you up. But I can already see from this group that you're a group of empowered and unapologetic queer folk, and I'm so proud to see that in all of you. So instead, I'm going to ask something of all of you, because you are the future of our community. And I'm so glad that you've all found each other, because it took me a while to find my people and my tribe. When I was 14, I told a friend at school I was gay. He immediately told everybody. And in 1997 in Northern Ireland, love and acceptance for LGBT people was very hard to find. From that part on, school became really difficult for me. There was bullying, humiliation, cruelty, and a constant feeling of being exposed and unsafe. A lot of it happened in the full view of adults who should have done something, but none of them did. I remember a meeting with my careers teacher in school, and I told him I wanted to join the police. The teacher laughed at me, and he said that the police wouldn't be interested in someone like me. He said, "Your mum's a hairdresser, why don't you do that?" So while other people from my school were getting encouragement and direction, I got homophobia and dismissal. And things like that can get into your head. You start to wonder whether the world has already made up its mind about you, and whether there really is a place for you in it. But he was wrong. That teacher was wrong about who I was. He was wrong about what I could do, and most importantly, he was wrong to make me feel like I was alone. That's why finding community meant everything to me. When I found the queer community as a young adult, it changed my life. Before that, I felt like such a freak. And suddenly I found people who made me realise that I wasn't broken, I wasn't alone, and I wasn't some mistake. I'd found my people, I'd found my tribe. And that gave me something I can't really overstate: solidarity, belonging, fun, love, support, a place where I could just breathe out and be myself. That solidarity saved me. I'm a big believer in being the change you want to see in the world, and as an adult, I tried to be the protector and advocate to others that I didn't have when I was young. I wanted to help create spaces for people still looking for their tribe, so I rebuilt the LGBT staff network of my employer. I set up events like Boo Boo and Belfast Bears to help give middle-aged queer men safe spaces, because you know what? Big old bears need safe spaces too. And we need to find that solidarity too. So, I'm a streamer, and I'm streaming Arc Raiders a lot at the moment. Don't shoot! Don't shoot! I'm over 200 hours into the game, and weirdly enough, Arc Raiders has given me a way to explain what I want to say tonight. So, Arc Raiders is a third-person extraction shooter. You play online with other folk. Generally, the community in the game is amazing, but there are those who play the game just to put down and steal from other players. Kind of like the real world sometimes. Now, I love Arc Raiders. You can play it however you want. You can be a good raider and take care of those around you and help people fight the big scary robots, or you can be a rat, knock others down and steal from them. If you get knocked down by an enemy, you have a short time window to be saved by another player. In the game, one of the items you can carry is a defib. And the thing about carrying the defib is that you never bring it for yourself. If you get downed, you can't use it on yourself. The only reason why you carry a defib is for someone else. You bring it because sooner or later, someone is going to go down. It's inevitable in a round. Maybe they got overwhelmed, taking on too many enemies. Maybe they made a bad call or fell off a roof, or maybe they got shot in the back. Whatever happened, they're down, and if you're the one carrying the defib, you can get them back on their feet. If you don't have a defib, then you can't help them. When you use a defib and somebody else can leave you exposed and vulnerable, but it's a risk you take to save someone. Bringing a defib into a round of ARC raiders is a choice, and it's one that I make every time I go into a round. So that's my ask of everyone here today. Be the person that carries a defib. Be the person who checks it. Be the person who notices when someone's gone quiet. Be the person who says, I got you. And if you can, or someone has made a mistake and they're taking genuine accountability, help them get back on their feet. I know the power of that solidarity because I've lived it. In recent years, I went through a long period of harassment and abuse because of my advocacy, because I stood up publicly for LGBT inclusion, for trans people, and for human rights. It was exhausting, it was isolating, and it was meant to wear me down and make me disappear. I'm not afraid to say it nearly killed me. But what got me through it was the solidarity of my community and my family. It was people checking in, it was people standing beside me, it was people refusing to let me go through it alone. And when I had to go to court, the people who showed up for me there were my community. LGBT people, trans folk, my friends, people who stood there made it clear I was not facing this alone. They carried a defib and they got me back on my feet. That's what solidarity looks like. Solidarity is not just standing beside people when it's easy or when they're popular or when they say everything perfectly. Solidarity is choosing not to abandon each other even when there's risk to you. And I think that matters so much right now because there's people out there who want to divide us. Wedge issues and divisiveness are constant in media. They try to set parts of our community up against each other. They want us fighting each other because a united community is powerful. A united community is dangerous to people who want a smaller, nastier, and more fearful world. So let's not give them what they want. Let's stand together, choose each other, and be the person that carries the defib. So I'm just going to finish with a message for anyone who hasn't found their tribe or is unsure about the future or still figuring out who you are. Please hear me when I say this. There is nothing wrong with you. You are exactly who you are meant to be. You are not too much, you're not impossible to love, and you are not on your own. Let yourself be supported, and when you can, make sure you help others get back on their feet. Because you don't know whose life you might help save. You don't know who's barely holding it together. You don't know who needs one person to show up and make them feel less alone. Solidarity is not a slogan. It's how we survive, it's how we heal, and it's how we win. Thank you, and always carry a defib.